Okay, so hello, and all of this is done, and so we now have 2 and 2 ribbing. That red is marking where I dropped down to in order to reform the stitches. And sorry, just kicked the tripod. What we want to do, I'm going to knit 1 row because right now these are in purl and knit and purl and knit and purl and knit, and in a perfect world I would cast off or bind off in ribbing, meaning that I would change how I structure the stitch based on what stitch I'm taking off the needles, but I'm not going to do that. Not only that, but I'm ambidextrous, but I'm right dominant, and I'm used to working from right to left on the machine, and so I also want to get my yarn over to the other side of the machine since I've ended over here with my carriage on the left. I don't care where my carriage is. The carriage could be anywhere it wants to, but I want the yarn on the right. And the yarn right now is on the left. So I'm pushing back here. I did find, by the way, I think these little things may have been what they were suggesting for helping with when you're reforming the stitches, and you put it down here and pull, and it kind of worked. You could, but I didn't think it was any better than doing it with my fingers. But I did want to point out that I think that that's what those are for. Okay, so needles are in position. What do I need to check? I need to check that the latches are open. And this is something you want to be reasonably scrupulous about. Now, while I was doing all of that ribbing, it did occur to me that it's possible that you might do the wrong row. Okay, and what would you do? And there are a number of different ways you could do it. What I would do, let's say that I went over here and dropped the stitches down and realized that it was just one in between. Let's come up close. Let's get personal about this. Let's say that I had come over here and just put 1 by accident in between instead of 2, okay? And so there I am with the whole thing. I would leave the stitches dropped, and I would put a pin of some sort, the pins that you can use, stitch markers, what have you, in order to just hold it. And I would have carried on because I'm right here at the end. And then when I bound off, I would have left that one on a stitch marker or even picked it up on the other side. Because if you're going to have to pick up if you're going to reform on this side, that's easy. But if you have to pick it back up as a drop stitch onto this side, that's pretty awkward. And so I probably would leave it. I don't have any problem in doing work off the machine afterwards. You watch a movie on Netflix, you listen to the news, whatever, and weave in ends, fix something, what have you. Okay? All right. So I now have needles at the ready, and I've got a tangled mess down here, so I am going to, this is all of my ravel cords. So let's go on and pull the ravel cords out. If we can. They may be kind of bound in there. As I said, you can use crochet cotton. If you pull through something with this much friction, it most likely will snap, but it doesn't matter. You can just, drag it on back out. It's a little more wasteful than using a ravel cord. I work with some knitting machines, the needle population, as it were, of which is so high. In other words, the needles are so close together because there's so many of them that I can't get one of these thick. This is a very thick ravel cord to me, and I just can't even get it through the machine. And so I use crochet cotton routinely, and I have one of those huge balls that you can buy online and at various stores. Again, this was knitted into a row along with the regular stitches, so it can come right out. And that gets rid of one. I should have pulled the other one out and done this once I was finished. I wouldn't have this mess now. So this mess is of my own making. Okay, so there's one. And then let's get this yellow one out. Then I'll probably stop the video and restart for another one so that this one isn't too long. As a matter of fact, this is at 6 minutes. Why don't I get this out, but I won't knit across. I'll just get this mess straightened up. And when I've cleaned up my mess, I'll be back.